The desert and the dry land will be glad. The wilderness will rejoice and blossom like the crocus. They will burst into bloom and rejoice with joy and singing. They will receive the glory of Lebanon, the splendor of Carmel and Sharon. They will see the Lord's glory, the splendor of our God. Strengthen the weak hands and support the unsteady knees. Say to those who are panicking, be strong, don't fear. Here's your God, coming with vengeance, with divine retribution. God will come to save you. Then the eyes of the blind will be opened, and the ears of the deaf will be cleared. Then the lamb will leap like the deer, and the tongue of the speechless will sing. Waters will spring up in the desert, and streams in the wilderness. The burning sand will become a pool, and the thirsty ground fountains of water. The jackal's habitat, a pasture, grass will become reeds and rushes. A highway will be there. It will be called the Holy Way. The unclean won't travel on it, but it will be for those walking on that way. Even fools won't get lost on it. No lion will be there, and no predator will go upon it. None of these will be there. Only the redeemed will walk on it. The Lord's ransomed ones will return and enter Zion with singing, with everlasting joy upon their heads. Happiness and joy will overwhelm them. Grief and groan will flee away. Reach out his hand and change my Saving Grace. Chapters 34 and 35 of the book of Isaiah relate to the anonymous prophet of the Babylonian exile, 2nd Isaiah, both by content and style, though they do not necessarily come from the hand of that same prophet. Chapter 34 is a passage of doom against which chapter 35 stands in marked contrast as a message of hope. The days of the exile weigh heavily upon the Babylonian captives, cut off from the land of Judah and from its capital, the sacred city of Jerusalem. They mourned the deeply felt separation from God. It is in the midst of this depressing and anxious hour that the voice of the prophet is heard, announcing that the God who rescued their ancestors from the land of bondage in Egypt was about to act once again to set them free in a new exodus. The affirmation is made against all apparent odds that God is Lord of history, who intervenes in the arena of human events to make divine purpose known. Such purposes work consistently towards bringing freedom to those who bear the burden of oppression, for He will come and save you. At times we look at the work around us, and when we witness the problems, the suffering, the physical and mental anguish of those who bear heavy burdens, we may be prone to despair. But then the realization sinks into our minds, grabs hold of our souls, that our God is a saving God. The Eternal chooses not to sit at the wayside, but to meet us in our need. That save. Open my heart, my mind, my soul, O God, that I may accept your saving grace that speaks with the liberating force of hope. Amen.